Hello, welcome, buongiorno, to another SAF Podcast. It is I, of course, your guest host for the third or thrice time this month. It is I, Josiah Biggs, coming to you and greeting you on this lovely day with our fine guests as we take a journey of which we were all forced to do. Now, today's guest, we have some familiar faces and another person who's making a surprise appearance earlier than we thought he would. But let's get back to our usuals. We have Mr. John Leamy, also known as Kamen Rider Black Wolf.
Howdy do.
And of course, we have returning this week, Mr. Matthew Ferrugia.
Hello, I'm looking forward to talking to everyone if my Skype will support it.
Indeed. And of course, the pièce de résistance. Our shining star, our opus magnum, Mr. Sterling Silver himself, also known as Mr. Big Harambe.
Hello, all you people. That's all I gotta say.
With the title of Sir Griffith.
Griffith apologist. Even though I don't have to apologize for anything.
I was about to say, there's nothing to apologize.
So yeah, great to be back.
So, why
don't be expecting me.
Well, why don't you tell
eternity.
us a little bit about your travels and how New Zealand's going now that you've got a good Wi-Fi connection.
Oh yeah, them hobbits. Oh geez. After my trips to learning all of yoga in the Netherlands, I come back to hear about this New Zealand hobbit crisis, and I had to go. They couldn't dance, so I had to teach them to dance, to learn and love, do all that kind of cool stuff. There was a potato famine, but nobody cares about that. Something about a ring. Didn't give two hoo-ha's about it, but whatever. But in reality, oh geez, all this 3 weeks that I've been gone, and I'm still sort of gone, or still, I'm just here because I can be here for a little bit. I've been getting situated with moving and calling certain people to get in the groove of, hey, I'm coming over there, get ready, and stuff like that, and having transfers and all that cool stuff, and things not going through, maybe not, oh geez, having alternatives, all that Cracker Jacks, but whatever. Other than that, I have a fair list of stuff that I've seen and played. In the anime realm, I guess I'll start there. Oh boy, I finished Blood Plus. Oh boy, that's all I have to say about that, because I'll have my reviews up and running whenever I get fully back, and believe me, there's going to be a mountain of reviews up on the site, because I also have gone into Dragon Ball, the OG saga.
Oh yeah.
Freaking wow, like I've only ever seen up until the tournament, the first tournament era thing with Jackie Chun and what's his face, Goku, battling it out. And then I stopped because Sci-Fi Channel didn't want to be cool and continue the series. Like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I pass through that, and I'm like, oh wow, this Red Ribbon Army arc is actually pretty cool. Until it kind of gets muddled down with the big huge tower and Murasaki babies, you know, all that crap.
Yeah.
Kind of gets a little bit Dragon Ball Z tropey-ish of having characters talk a whole lot and not doing anything ever. Like, oh boy, this is what I love. But whatever. I'm glad I'm continuing it. I'm going to finish it when I come back, hopefully, because it's very easy to watch. And it's only 153 or 54, give or take, episodes. Oh.
Yeah.
I've also gotten into, well, still like 2/3 of the way done with Blackjack. Man, like every single episode is pretty much perfect in its own right. There are some things here and there that are just like, yeah, coincidence, but it's fine. It works for what it goes for, and it works for what it's trying to be in an episode, just like a one-off thing. Other than that, some new things that I've been watching. Samurai 7. It's a Akira Kurosawa work. If you know the director or art director, whatever you want to call it, he's done some fine stuff. Not really going too far into what that is, but it's basically the Seven Samurai story, but with mechas and robots and Cracker Jacks and stuff like that. And as I did with Gurren Lagann, with rewatching it with the fam, I rewatching JoJo Part 1 and 2 with the fam. The only criticism that I hear is that everybody's being super obvious for no reason. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's actually pretty fun to just watch it. Which is, after going through it again, I'm kind of like, yeah, once you've seen it once, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I've seen it. Sort of like Gurren Lagann, I'm like, okay, I saw it once, and then seeing it a second time, there's like, I'm actually not enjoying it as much as the first time, because you kind of don't know what's going on, or what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then, like, series like unlike Ava and like other stuff where you can rewatch it over and over again and get new stuff out of it. Like, I found these series to be, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Oh, yep, that's what's gonna happen. Oh, that's gonna happen. Oh, okay. And then I get like kind of jaded throughout the whole thing. I'm like, okay, this is fine. But at the very least, I'm sharing it with the fam, so whatevs. It's all good on my end. There's also 3 other things that I've been watching anime-wise, but those are surprises. Gasp, gasp, gersp, gersp. Into the movies, I only seen one worth talking about, and another one that's just like, oh, hey, it was on TV, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, hey, that was a fine movie. Which was A League of Their Own, starring Madonna, Roseanne, that Forrest Gump guy, I forget.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
Oh, is that it's the baseball movie, right?
Yeah, it's the baseball movie with all of the girls being a baseball team, and they're having a baseball league during the World War II stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh, yeah. And with Lori Petty as well. It's a fine movie, but it suffers from that 90s, I guess, sin from being a bit too 90s in a historical kind of context. Because it's kind of like, oh, hey, look at all this 1940s, but oh, hey, let me talk like not a 1940s guy and talk like a 1990s guy for some reason. But other than that, I think it was fine. And me being a Madonna fan of her music, of her latest music, I found that her single of freaking This Used to Be My Playground was a very, very great little single that she did for the movie, and that's all I have to say about that. But other than that, I rewatched Terminator 1 for like the second or third time.
Nice.
I wasn't a very big, huge fan of it at first when I saw it a million years ago, because I just got done watching Terminator 2. Like, oh wow, I bet Terminator 1's going to be better than this, because, you know, sequels are usually worse than the first one. Like, oh. And then I didn't really continue it, which is, I should slap my face. My past face. Because Terminator 1, oh boy, I think it's almost on par with some cinematographical elements here and there in number 2 that was done better, and some of the music done better in 2. But as an overall plot of the first one, I think it rivals the second one way more than it should. And I think people give the second one a little bit too much credit for doing the same thing again, but not really explaining themselves a whole lot with the whole time travel stuff. But yeah, other than that, a great movie. Kind of wish I saw it first than the second one, but I still like it. So yeah. Now on to the games. A whole lot of games. Oh boy. You guys ever played a Deus Ex game before?
Can't say I have, no.
No? Any of you other ones? No? Oh man. Oh jeez. Well, Mankind Divided came out recently, like about 3 weeks ago, I guess.
I've heard some good things.
Some fair things, I would say. If you liked Human Revolution, for all you listeners out there, it's basically Human Revolution 0.5, which is not a bad thing, nor is it an extremely great thing. If you love the Cracker Jacks out of Human Revolution, you'll love the Cracker Jacks out of Mankind Divided. I actually beat it since my time away, and I literally think that the ending gets a bit it's a bit underrated, I guess I would say. Like, people are just bashing it for, I guess, sequel baiting, I guess is the right term for such as this. But it's basically like a telltale ending kind of thing, where it says, like, in a video format of, oh hey, you did this thing and this happened. Oh, you did that side quest. Oh, and you chose these outcomes. Oh, this is what it did after the fact. And I thought that was fine, and like that went on for like 18 minutes because I did like a whole lot of side quests, and like it made the ending a little bit more, I guess, surprising, because I was expecting something to be like the Sopranos ending of just, oh hey, we're done, black. Like, oh, but this one's like, oh hey, you did that, here's a little something else to have you eat and stuff like that. It's just like, oh, that's cool. But other than that, that it's a really weird way to solve problems from Human Revolution to completely take them out in Mankind Divided. Like, some of the bosses and some of the I guess augmentations here and there Oh, and speaking of augmentations, the new augmentations that are given to freaking Jensen, probably one of them is actually worthwhile, and all the other 8, I think, is just fluff. Like, you can go on with your day not even selecting them, because why would you ever want something that you can easily do with a gun or something like that? It's basically a waste of your time if you invest all your practice points into it. So yeah. But other than that, it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure you've seen gameplay of Human Revolution from the Two Best Friends, right? Or am I wrong? Yeah.
One episode from myself.
I watched for a little bit, probably 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's basically just high res HD and like better graphics and all that cracky jacks. And it's basically just a sort of semi-continuation of the plot of the first one. And other than that, a certain beta came out around the first week I was gone, and I was like, oh geez, I gotta get on that sometime. And that was Battlefield 1. And I got some things to say about Battlefield 1, aka semi-reskin of Battlefront Star Wars. Cough cough. Oh geez. Oh no. But it's almost like a meeting in between of Battlefield 3 and 4 and Battlefront, in which like I guess the variety isn't all there, but the gameplay and I guess extreme variety in the gameplay itself outside of the guns and mechanics and all that stuff and the what you can switch to and stuff is actually there. But it actually does feel a little bit better, but again, this is just the beta, and they were like actively working on the beta while we were playing. So like, oh hey, this timer is counting down when it should be counting up. And then DICE heard that, like, oh, okay then, next day, okay, now the timer is counting up. Ooh, that's cool. And then it keeps on going like that, like, oh, this needs a fix here. Okay, here's the fix there. Whoa. And that was like the most, like, I guess, fastest, like, patches I've ever seen in a beta. Just happening, like, out of nowhere. Like, oh, hey, you thought that was bad? Nah. It's actually like this because we just fixed it, boy. And, yeah. Hopefully, it gets more variety and more staying power so that after 10 hours, I don't feel like I've done every single thing in the game. Like Battlefront, fudge you. But yeah, and then I tried out the Mai Shiranui in Dead or Alive 5 last round, and let me tell you something about that Mai Shiranui. She's pretty OP. That's pretty much about it. Like, her juggles are continuous and they're easy to do. Extremely easy to do. Like, a child could like go on to like 20 combos with mild Shiranui, and it's like, oh geez, maybe you should I guess nerf this character. But other than that, she is fun to play as. And I will say that me not liking Mai Shiranui at all in the KOF games, she's actually a pretty good option in Dead or Alive. It's like she was meant for it, or something. I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it's a fun character. Hopefully we get more. Hopefully we get more actual costumes for Mai Shiranui, because actually there's only 2 costumes to choose from that aren't DLC, which is horrendous, and the freaking 2 costumes she has is the red and the blue normal set. I'm like, oh wow, thank you, Dead or Alive. Oh jeez, you're so good. Oh man. So yeah, without the DLC, it's just 2 costumes. So I'm like, what? Not even a freaking. Oh jeez, whatever. Fudge you. Other than that, I recently gotten back into some Resident Evil hiatuses. So I played the first Resident Evil game, and then I played the RE remake. Both great games for different reasons. I still like them both equally. And then I went back to playing Resident Evil 2 for the second time in my whole entire life, because I only played the Nintendo 64 version, and I was like, oh, this is, yeah, it's not as good as RE1 or remake, but I'll give this a shot. And they're like, eh. And then years later, it's on the PS Vita that I can purchase, and it's on sale. I'm like, you know what? People like this game enough, and maybe I gave it a bit of a, I gave it too harsh of a critique back in the day. Let me replay it with freshness on my mind. And yeah, it's RE2. It's not.
That's a
not my
video
favorite.
game.
Yeah, it's a video game, and it's not as good as 1 or remake. All I can hope for is that the RE2 remake is actually better than all of them, or a summarization of some. But yeah. Other than that, I have some more here and there, but they aren't really worth talking, because I played some Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions some more, and oh boy, does the dialogue in that game feel pretentious as all Hello Kitty.
I hear it's not great, yeah.
Like me coming off of like 100% mastering of the PS1 version, and knowing every dialogue choice and step and stuff like that, and is understandable, and like it kind of feels like, okay, yeah, you went far enough in your recreation of like early knights chivalry and stuff like that, talk and whatever you want to call it, and then you go on to War of the Lions, and they're like talking with Shakespearean accents that go on for way too long. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I get you game. It feels like one of those extremely fan subs that are like, nah, it has to be perfect. Nah, he didn't say guts, he said Gatsu. Put that in the subs. It kind of feels like that. I'm like, you didn't really need to change it all that much, and now I'm feeling like this story isn't all that, like, it feels a little bit too highbrow for what it's trying to actually be, because the story of the actual Final Fantasy Tactics is pretty much one of the best there is out there in my opinion. But War of the Lions just makes it feel pretentious as all Hello Kitty. So other than that, that was my whole entire week. What about you, John Laney? What about your week, huh?
Well, first I have to apologize for the fly who seems to want to be on the podcast in my room.
Yeah.
He tried to interrupt you several times, Sterling, by buzzing on the microphone. So
Yep.
let's ask him, how has your week been, Mr. Fly? Yeah, that's what I thought. And then secondly, wait, are you guys telling me back in the World War II days, they weren't blasting Ice Ice Baby from the tanks?
Well, I mean, we can't. I wasn't there, so I can't disprove that theory.
See,
Well, I mean, Sterling was there. He's like Wolverine, you know? He survived every war.
See, if Germany had done that, they would have won. Period. Just they would have taken the victory.
But they were too busy blasting Hasselhoff, so.
Fatal mistake. Rookie mistake.
Mine's kind of gonna be all over the place because I didn't put it like into different sections of games, shows, and whatever. But I'll start with movies because I actually watched a movie.
Before you continue, have you finished part 6?
Not yet.
Okay.
What about Assassination Classroom, huh?
Episode 2.
Gasp, really?
Halfway there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine. For movies, I actually watched one, which is a huge achievement for me.
Gasp.
And it was the Final Fantasy 15 movie that came out.
Did that come out? Where did you watch this movie? Was it out in theaters?
Kiss Asian.
Oh, wow, okay. I guess I gotta go see that now.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed it. I was watching it with a friend.
Wait, it's good?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry.
Like, the graphics are friggin' amazing, and if like those graphics are what they use for the PS4 cutscenes, it's gonna be pretty damn good.
No, it's just like ever since watching Spirits Within, whenever I hear a Final Fantasy movie's coming out, I can't help but chuckle because I'm like, how can you come back from that, you know?
Yeah. Have you seen Advent Children, Matthew?
I still have yet to see Advent Children, which is practically a sin.
That's me.
I know, right? I'm the worst.
You still also haven't seen any Kamen Rider yet.
Yeah, just lynch me. Just off me. Just off me right now, fam.
You're still going to hell until you listen to the wise words of the Green Baby and Father Poochie, which are to watch Kamen Rider.
Well, I did just finish part 4 today, which I will get to later, so slowly catching up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good movie. I watched it with a friend, and we were like, for some of the characters, we're like, oh, that's Saban. He's going to suplex a ghost train anytime soon. There's Lulu.
Sabin is just, gosh.
Sadly, there's no Sephiroth. It's a damn shame.
Dang.
But hey, there's a Final Fantasy, 11 or 12 judge. Kind of.
That would be 12, I guess.
I
don't really know about 11. If they even have judges or not.
And I think he said Diamond Weapon appears in it. From Final Fantasy 7, so.
Diamond Weapon shows up in 7?
Well, yeah.
Oh. I totally missed that. Sorry.
So we were having a good time, and then I was like, you watch as in the game, he won't appear. He'll appear in the movie, but he won't appear in the game.
He'll probably just be a flavor text for a type of weapon you get. Like, oh, hey, this guy wielded that. Yeah, that guy from the movie, yeah, he wielded this. That's his own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like they used friggin' Knights of the Round in it as well.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I found out that we're gonna get a Monster Hunter anime.
Yeah, we are.
Monster Hunter Riders.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And not a Lost Planet 2 anime? Get out of my face.
So that might be interesting. That might be a watch. I played Shovel Knight again. Finally on my channel. I beat Plague Knight and Treasure Knight. And in my next one, which might be tonight, I'm not sure, I'll be fighting the Baz Knight and the Fire whatever it is. Mole, I guess.
Maybe.
I did Garden Warfare 2 for a video game because it had an event going on. The event's fine. It was like, you're either a cat robot doing the cat scratch fever, or you're a dinosaur and you literally get achievement saying walking the dinosaur.
Yeah.
So I got that on my trophy list now.
Love them self-aware achievements, boy.
The only thing I can also say about that is I got a key, which you can go do a trial thing and get, some special bullshit hat.
Awesome.
Fuck the trial, because it had a bunch of hot plates, and they're supposedly following a pattern. And if you land on one of them heated hot plates, you just explode. It took me 3 hours to do it. And that was using a quote-unquote cheap character to do it too. So fuck it is all I can say. I watched another episode of the Puzzles and Dragons anime. He friggin' henshined into dragon armor like a common rider. So it was awesome. I was like, holy shit. Like, imagine if Ash Ketchum could put on like a Pikachu suit of armor.
Is this anime actually called Puzzles and Dragons? The anime?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Because I think there's another anime like that that's called something else that's based on like cards or something that I reviewed a long time ago. But like you just reminded me of that for some reason.
Yeah, I think Josiah mentioned it last podcast, and I did see that appear on Kiss Asian. Yeah, and it's a different thing. So this one's actually Puzzles and Dragons. It's an app that I played, and I was like, I hope this fucking fails, and then it didn't. It actually was good.
The one I was talking about last week as well was, Kaminiya no Puzzle or something stupid like that. I remember I watched that the first season. It's pretty bad. It's about this school about puzzles and like Yu-Gi-Oh style showdowns and puzzle kings and
King of Games.
yeah, but in that one you want to be king of puzzles though, which is just confusing because half the stuff isn't like really puzzles. It's like, oh, mine is math. I'm good at math, and it's like, oh, great puzzle there, guy.
Yeah.
Then there was the Heroic Legend of Alan.
Aslan?
Or Alan, or whatever the fuck they want to call him. It's a Kamen Rider Ghost kind of on its own thing. Basically, he's the third rider, and they said, you know what, people like him enough that he should get his own series. But the first episode that I watched was showing like parts of Kamen Rider Ghost, where it's like, this happened, and then this happened. By the way, here's a spoiler right here, so I hope you watch the series. But other than that, it is kind of a good way to like just show someone and be like, hey, look, doesn't this look cool? You should go watch Ghost. But I am happy that Alan's getting his own series in a way. Like I guess it's a mini series because it's only gonna be a few episodes. Because he's my favorite writer of the 3 Ghost writers.
So he's going to die soon?
Yes. John Stand has to activate. Yeah.
Although it's a little bit of a spoiler, the main character is already dead.
Well,
it starts with him dead.
That's why it's called Ghost, am I right? Am I right?
And today was actually the last episode of Ghost in Japan.
So did they give a series to a cool character so that he could die?
Yeah. And the next Kamen Rider just so happens to be a doctor / video game character.
/ otaku. He's the otaku doctor.
Yeah, exactly. that literally is what he is. He gets a little chibi form for level 1, and then he advances a level and becomes like an actual writer. So he has to gain experience, I guess.
All I can say is it's gonna be pretty goofy.
It is, yeah. But I can foretell the ending now, where it's like, oh no, Takaru is fucking dead for good. Oh, but wait, good thing we have this otaku doctor here to bring him back from the dead.
Okay.
It's like Blackjack, but only in the 2016, you know? And then he's a Kamen Rider, and Tumblr exists.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all the best things about 2016 crammed into a classic, iconic character.
Yeah. I got to watch episode 3 of Kamen Rider Wizard, which was good. Some kid thought he could shoot fire out of his fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
But then Wizard was like, nah, son, it wasn't you. There was this bullshit hellhound dude. And then he's like, guess what? You can't cast magic. Haha, now you're depressed. Wizard still didn't get to eat his plain donut.
That's a good episode. Tell me, you gotta let me know when you get to the part where Beast comes in.
Okay, I definitely will. I got to see the 2 little mini things of Pokemon Generations.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, wetting your whistle for wanting to watch Pokemon Generations.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Seeing as the actual Pokemon anime is getting alright good recently.
Wait, what?
Huh?
There's another Pokemon anime coming out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they had the original Pokemon Red animation.
Yeah, I heard about that. I never seen it though.
Okay, well, it was basically just like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 OVAs. I can't remember. It's been a while. But it was basically to explain Mega Evolutions and bring up the game for X and Y. And so it was basically like the character from Pokemon Red. And it wasn't like the actual characters like Gary and Ash and this and that. They were played by their protagonists in the game. And so, but this one is, it's going to be a little bit different. But basically, it's about the game characters instead of the anime characters that are based out of the game. So,
yeah,
and it's going to be
Plus
a lot more violent. Yay, violence!
The second episode is all about Giovanni. It's like, oh, we caught a Pokemon, or we caught a Team Rocket member, and he ain't saying shit to us because Giovanni has so much charisma like Dio, so they won't say a damn word to us. Let's go invade this gym that we heard he's at.
Yeah.
And then they fucking use the aura of Hitmonchamp to get in, and Arcanine blows down the walls. It's like they're friggin' just destroying this gym to get in there, and then they're like, oh, something happened. And if you watch the series and that, it was Mewtwo. And then they were just like, oh, Giovanni's not here. Well, that sucks. Let's try to find him. And then Giovanni's just out in the distance. He's like, you'll never stop Team Rocket. I was like, oh, yeah. I forget. This is when he goes to, gold and silver and, commits suicide. That's right. Never stop Team Rocket. You'll never do it.
It was all
but
me.
This little kid will drive you off a cliff. Oh yeah, spoilers for a really old game.
With an expansive story.
Yeah. and that's in Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Berserk, we're of course going to talk about that later.
Oh boy, will we.
JoJo, it's just showing that Kira's in his new life.
Kira's
and he's trying to enjoy it.
He is enjoying it. And so is his new wife. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Stockholm Syndrome's so strong. I love it.
And of course, Josuke and all of them meet Kira's father, and he's doing his shit.
It's my hobby is photography.
Yeah. apart from that, it's stabbing people with arrows.
And knives.
Yeah.
And calling people on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. On the ghost phones. One could say he's a ghost dad.
I love it how he's still in his pajamas, too. It's like... he really never did leave the house.
Yeah.
You know, the ironic thing is that he ended up with a more peaceful life than his son, who was aiming for that the entire time.
And and of course, I don't know if it's next, but you know, at least the next stand we're gonna see is Boys to Men.
Yeah, we sure are.
So we'll have the joy of rock paper scissors kid.
Best.
Oh yeah, now I remember. I was like, Boys to Men, Boys to... Oh yeah.
The most riveting game of rock paper scissors you've seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, technically he's part 4's DRB.
Yeah, basically.
Hunter x Hunter has some pretty epic Rochambeau moments. But man, oh man. Nothing says I'm writing a story for Japan like, hey, rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Too bad rock, paper, scissors kid wasn't like, it's your move, Mr. Rohan.
Yeah.
Good. As I said, watched Assassination Classroom, episode 2. Oh, that's a baseball?
Oh yeah, that's right. You meet Baseball Kid.
Yeah. That is pretty much what the episode's about. Just, oh, that's a baseball.
Yeah, no, the first half of the first season is just introducing all the students, basically.
Yeah, and the many ways they want to try to kill him.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, Ghost is at the final boss. I didn't get to read any JoJo this week or weekend.
So you're still at Foo Fighters, or?
Yeah, I'm still at Foo Fighters.
Wow. Okay then.
I'm slowly getting to the invisible alligators and the green.
I
Yeah.
was going to say that right in a second, but okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the invisible zombie alligators.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I am starting to watch more animes, like whatever's in the recently updated thing of Kiss Asian, but you know, it's a slow start. And that's all I pretty much got.
Who are you lobbing it to?
Josiah, take over for me.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I guess we'll start out with anime. Of course, everything's going along swimmingly. We're still about 2 weeks away from the new season, the new fall lineup here, and so everything's kind of wrapping up or getting ready for that second half of the first season. Though it doesn't look like we'll have too many, series going over besides JoJo and. Let's see. Probably not ReZero. I think they're gonna get a second season later in the spring, probably. But that has neither here nor there been confirmed yet. But as far as things outside of anime, or rather, well, I did watch some History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi the other day. I watched about a good 5 or 6 episodes. I've seen through the series about 6-7 times. That's kind of a series I would like them to remaster and remake. Kind of like Hunter x Hunter, kind of like Dragon Ball Z Kai. Kind of like all the other series that are getting their due diligence these days. Because don't get me wrong, the 90s series is still pretty good. But it's now that the manga's been done with for about a year, it would be nice for them to do the whole thing, because there are a lot of characters that I would like to see in a new anime for it, and mostly just because I'm I'm sad because the manga's done. Let's see, besides all of that, I've been reading a lot of manga lately. I've been playing Dragon Quest 2. I beat Dragon Quest 1 in 8 hours. It's very simple, very fast game.
Yeah.
I grinded all the way to the final level within 5 hours. And it was a nice little joy, a nice little miniature JRPG. Very fun, very engaging. I like the monster designs in Dragon Quest because they keep them. They don't hardly ever change. They just kind of get reinvented as the series goes on. And so after playing 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's good to go back and see all the roots and all the original drawings of the monsters and how they've kind of changed forms, except for the slime, of course, which will always stay the iconic slime form that you see everywhere in any sort of Japan video or any sort of, or on the set of that quirky little Funimation studio where they try and act like they're real anime fans and tell you things about series. Speaking of Funimation, they did an amazing thing this last week, which I don't think any of you guys saw. But they said, oh man, season 2 of Re:Zero just started, running. And so everybody's like, what? Because season 1 hasn't ended for Re:Zero yet. And so they're like, what? And then, so they had that as the title. And the clip playing was from Taboo Tattoo, which is another series that just came out. And the clip that was playing was from the episode that came out an hour before. And so it also spoiled a whole bunch of people to the episode that just came out without them watching it.
Okie dokie.
And so nobody really knows what happened. Whether this is a new style of viral marketing or if this is just someone's completely stupid and lied on their resume. Or, the intern or whoever has to do these stupid little advertising posts just completely is brain dead or, so sleep deprived that they don't know what they're doing. But, so that was something that I got in on, and it was an interesting event. There was about 300 negative comments within the first 10 minutes of that advert going up. And it wasn't like the random adverts that you see on Facebook where it's like, oh, see, recommended, da-da-da-da-da. No, this is like one of the adverts that Funimation puts up, if you like them. It's like the preview where they put up sales or this or that, or, oh, hey, the new episode of this just went up, da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah.
And so that was, man, oh man, that was a blast. Still no response from Funimation, but surprisingly enough, the post isn't up anymore, so can't imagine why. No, but as far as manga goes, I went back and I'm reading through the end of Steel Ball Run again currently, just because I had forgotten some things, because I had been following a little chitty chat on the manga and anime fan group page that a lot of us are in, and from the Hypest, and they were chatting it up about 7, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it happens like this, but I'm not too sure. And they brought up some pretty interesting questions, so I'm like, I need to go back and read that again. It's been a year or two, so especially since everybody seems to love Part 7 again. The world seems to be the same, It seems like, dirty deeds done dirt cheap, pulled me back into the Prime universe, And I wasn't destroyed. But, no, so I've been, kind of gorging myself on that manga there. Especially since, then I was surprised when you brought up Sterling. I'm like, oh yeah, he's reading Part 7 too. Small world.
Yeah, I got the freaking torrent that you sent me, John. I barely saw it. I'm like, oh geez, okay. So yeah, I got that, and I only read the summary of the first page, and I'm like, okay. And then,
This is good.
like, okay, yeah. Until
You
another
know what's
time.
gonna happen is years from now, after all this JoJo stuff is done,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be brought up somehow. Like some things of the past get brought up nowadays, and they're gonna say, "Hey, remember when this and this happened in JoJo?" And us people who actually read it are gonna be like, "What? I don't remember that. I gotta go back and read it. What the hell?
Uh-huh.
What's this about rainbows and snails and green babies?" I actually, I forgot to mention that I played Eyes Over Heaven for my cousin,
Uh-huh.
and he's only seen part 1 of JoJo, and he's only seen a few episodes. So he's like, "Who's this guy?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Poochie. See, he whispers sweet things to the green baby, and about Dio." And suddenly he has a new stand. He's like, "What the fuck are you going on about?" "Okay, who's this guy?" This is Weather Report. Yeah, he turns people into snails if you look at his rainbow." He's like, "Oh my god, what is JoJo? Is Araki high?" I'm like, "Yeah, probably. High on the Lord."
I like that. That's good.
Well, speaking about getting high, I mean, I've also been keeping up with Part 8, and man, oh man, is that the most bizarre adventure we've seen so far. It's
Good.
basically YouTube 2016's pranks gone sexual.
Oh boy.
It is definitely the most, you can cut this sort of awkward sexual tension type of why are you ever doing this? This is so cringy with a pretty small knife. It doesn't take much to cut the seam there.
Yeah.
But as far as movies go, not much. I've really just been watching a whole bunch of YouTube. I've been watching the Continue guys going through, because I've had a lot of time recently, because I've just been packing up a whole bunch of stuff, because I'm moving as well, gasp. And so I've just had a lot of downtime and just like to play something in the background. I love Paul Ritchie's and Josh Henderson's sweet voices, and very, very racist jokes at some points. And so, not to upset Nick Murphy, but I mean, I was a pretty big fan of fantasy fiction that was done by Josh and Dominic Reed. I believe his last name's Reed. Can't remember. But they did a lot of making up of fantasy stories each week on a certain theme. They did a little podcast there, and they have a good 50 episodes of that. And so I'm pretty heavily stalked Josh Henderson's Twitter. So just because I mean, the man is just like that. You always have that friend in high school or in college or just in your adult life as well that just kind of hates everything, but then kind of loves everything at the same time. And he he shouts at random intervals, and and he's always down to do stuff. And then you have those times where you're with this person and you're both at awake at 3 a.m. both hugging the toilet because you just went out and drank way too much that you should have never drank, and you don't know how he convinced you to do that, but you did it anyway.
One of those friends, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I mean, he's just such a beautiful man as well. I mean, he's got that huge beard and that bald head. He's like Louis C.K., but from Philly.
Of course.
But of course, my family's from the East Coast, and so I kind of get a lot of things they come from. My grandparents grew up in Brooklyn, and so they like to reminisce about all their terrible trips to New York and New Jersey, and that just kind of warms my heart from the old country. But no, I mean that's just what I've been doing on YouTube so far, and besides that, I've just been posting some pretty dank memes lately. Things are getting pretty political. We got that Nazi white supremacist frog just exploding all over the internet for the first time, man. I mean,
Is there a new meme I don't know about?
sit down, Mr. Sterling. I have to tell you a story.
You need to be brought up to date, sir.
So, somebody yelled Pepe, the name, at one of Hillary Clinton's rallies. It was a 4chan group, and there was a couple guys that did it, okay? They all yelled Pepe to interrupt Hillary Clinton at one of her rallies. Of course, there were only about 16 people there, so it wasn't too hard. And then so Hillary and her staff got it in their heads to find out why did this happen? What is going on here? And then they discover Mr. Le Pepe the Frog. And they found some of the rarest Pepes online. And by their expert millennial research, they solely determined that Pepe was a meme that just popped up out of nowhere that is solely white supremacist meme because they found the /poll / all their memes of Pepe fused with Donald Trump. And so now it's a memes field day because not only did they do this research, but she went on stage and mentioned it in a speech saying that a cartoon frog,
Oh boy.
and Mr. Trump himself are both the leaders of the white supremacist movement being puppeteered by Vladimir Putin, the meme king himself. And this is no joke. And now people like CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, everybody's now talking about this cartoon Nazi frog, Pepe.
Wow.
So while you were off saving the hobbits,
Yeah.
memes kind of got a little bit too big for themselves.
The meme dream came true.
Yeah.
And not only that, but now there's a field day of mashing up pictures of Hillary being sad and Pepe laughing in the background. There is a huge field day of memers now making memes about the mainstream media not understanding memes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's
It's
so
that
good.
boy.
Every single time I leave, there's always something amazing to come back to.
#memegate. But so I've been having a pretty big field day with that. Also, I found a new great page on Facebook that does only Lazy Town memes, and it's pretty good. It's getting up there. They're getting pretty good at their memes.
Those are really solid, actually. They're better than you think.
And
Get
then,
ready for the Lazy Town podcast.
Well, you know, Lazy Town's still going on. Like, I didn't even know this. They're
Wait,
still
really?
making the show. It's in the Netherlands. Like, that's where the original show is from. It's ridiculous. But the show's been going on since, like, the 60s. Like, it's just reincarnated. Like, it was actually done with people dressing up as puppets in the original one, all the way up to the 2004 live-action series. It's ridiculous. They posted a history of it on that meme page, and I was like, what? And
Jesus.
Robbie
I might
Rotten,
have seen-
Robbie Rotten started out as a sleazy Romanian man to a Polish Jew with a pip jacket, and then to the glorious, handsome Robbie Rotten that we know today.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, that Polish Jew with a huge nose. Oh man, it's.
Fuck.
I'll post it later in the chat so you guys can
Okie
see,
dokie.
because it's just too funny to see the evolution and how nightmarish the first series of Lazy Town is. It's just, oh my gosh. But
Okie dokie.
Besides that, also, Sterling, to get you caught up, there is a new meme trend of taking old Filthy Frank and iTubs pictures, just like scenes from some of their latest or a little bit older videos, and putting a caption underneath it saying World War II, yada yada yada, colorized. Circa, 1940 something.
Wow.
And so those memes have been going strong as well. We've had a very large influx of those in like the last week that just came out of nowhere, and I've seen like 20 or 30 of them already. And so that's all I have to say on the meme report this week.
This should be like a recurring thing, like Josiah's meme corner, something like that.
Yeah, I'll
gotta get it done.
I'll start doing a meme. I would say meme review, but as we know,
that's trademarked now.
Anthony Meme Tano already has the copyright on that one, so I'll have to quietly follow in his footsteps. And now I pass the ball to our last guest, the Canadian boy himself, Mr. Matt.
Alright, this has been a very nice week for me. I did something really cool today. For those of you who are not Canadian, which consists of one half of this podcast, you may not know who Terry Fox is. Now, Terry Fox was a man who, went on a marathon of hope and procured cancer, lost one of his legs many years ago, a fellow Canadian, and all that he did brought about a marathon for cancer awareness. He tried to, well, you know what, there's no point in me talking about this. It's not very interesting. The reason that I bring this up is because the marathon went on today, and I did the full 10K. It was very nice. It was very challenging, and I had a great time with that. Probably wasn't really necessary for me to bring up the background, but whatever. I had a very nice marathon today. That's all the thing that really matters. 10K run is it's very fun. It does wonders for the soul.
Cool.
And now you're basically as strong as One Punch Man.
I am Saitama now. This is what pushed me over the edge. This is what did it for me.
Yeah.
He had to pull off that 10K consistently for months straight. I did it for one day. I got these sick cheat codes. He doesn't even know. So that was eventful for me. So I felt like bringing it up. Video games and anime and whatnot. I have been playing Dragon Quest VII, and that is
And not Dragon Quest V?
See, no. Like, Josiah and I were talking about this, and Dragon Quest V sounds dope. Don't get me wrong, it sounds real good. And I want to get the chance. Oh yeah, it sounds not so bad, it sounds pretty good. But what came out recently, and when I say recently, I mean just 2 days ago. For the 3DS was the remake of Dragon Quest VII. I've been playing through that game. It has a couple issues with the camera, and on top of that, combat is slightly worse than it is in Dragon Quest IX. So both the camera work and combat is very, very slightly worse. The music, however, is definitively better.
Better than what?
Than 9. 9 is the only Dragon Quest game that I have beaten. So 7 and 9 are what I'm going to be comparing. So yeah, between the two of them, 7 has the better music and 9 has the better camera work and combat, but only by a very slight degree. So that's been a heck of a good time. I've been having a good time with that.
So you're waiting for 8 to come out in a bit?
I believe that 8 came out on the DS, or it was re-released on the DS recently.
Nope.
Something of no.
No.
8 was never on the DS.
It never released because it's going to be released shortly on 3DS. That's why the 7 came out as well.
Well, then I'm a big stupid idiot. I'm really dumb. Okay, then you know what? I'm definitely jumping on board that. I have to. Why
you
wouldn't
got
I?
to.
Yeah, that's right.
Dragon Quest VIII was released in November 27th, 2004.
For the PS2, sir.
Yes.
And they're re-releasing it for the 3DS.
Oh, okay, I thought you just meant that it was the newest one. I'm like, it's not the newest Dragon Quest. Don't you be janking my chain.
I think
Well,
that,
in terms of what they actually did to it, it could possibly be a new Dragon Quest.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're gonna,
remaking it.
you know, they're gonna
They're adding a whole lot of stuff.
I bet they are. New Slime Coliseum? Yeah.
Woo!
Of course.
Man, when you brought up the slime from Dragon Quest earlier on here, it's kind of wonderful to me because, like, Dragon Quest is nowhere near as big, if my knowledge serves me correctly, here as it is in the East, which, you know, is fine. It makes sense. But as far as the Dragon Quest fan base is concerned, the slime is right up there with fucking, like, Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the slime and it's like, yeah, that's slime. You show slime to a 6-year-old and the 6-year-old will be like, yeah, that's slime. What a lovable, well-known mascot. Which he deserves to be. He's lovable and adorable and he looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah, but he's not as cool as Metal Slime, though.
No. Except Metal Slime is a real
King
piss.
Slime.
Oh, yeah.
Or King Metal Slime.
Yeah,
Yeah, King Metal Slime. He's a player, man.
He's a real piss off. All those hours in Dragon Quest IX, just getting him down to 1 or 2 HP, and nope, taking your experience, sir.
Run away.
Yep. Wasted your time. Oh, gone, motherfucker. So that's so that's been Dragon Quest is still fun. It is still a great franchise.
Cool.
I'm enjoying it. I have started watching throughout the course of this past week Panty and Stalking. So that's fun. I'm not even gonna deny that's a fun little piece of work.
Okie dokie.
I've watched the first 4 episodes, and I'm glad that Gainax put this out. This isn't like this is far from an epic, like what you would look at Gurren Lagann, Evangelion as, and the other Gainax works, so on and so forth. But it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of an R-rated SpongeBob. I'm not gonna lie. Just shenanigans, lovable characters, and yeah, not too much more to say than that. If you've got like a few minutes to kill, go watch Panty and Stalking, or don't. That's up to you. So that's been fun. I finished Diamond is Unbreakable.
Gasp.
Diamond is Unbreakable is done. It's fucking... Well, it's not done. Like, the anime is far from done. I am done the manga.
14 episodes.
Just something like that, I think. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you, that, woo!
Now, you've read part 1, 2, 3, right, as well?
And 4. And I'm pretty damn spoiled on pretty much all of what's to come, yes.
But also, before reading part 4, what would you say was your favorite then?
2.
2?
2.
Seems about right.
I'm one of those glorious normie scumbags who's like, oh, Joseph's so cool, I want some more Joseph.
Uh-huh.
No, but Joseph's great. and then he was a little bit less great in part 3, and then part 4 came along, and boy was he a lot less great.
I think you mean he was the greatest he's ever been.
You'd say that Joseph aged like a fine wine, Josiah? He just getting better?
No, I say Joseph ages like a fine fox.
Oh,
Whoa.
you know what? That's fair. I can't hate on that. That's yeah. No. So part 4. I don't want to get too spoilery, because someone might want to, check with the podcast who is right smack dab in the middle of where the DIU anime currently is. But like, there's something.
What were your favorites, if you can think of any? Like, what was your favorite stand? What was your favorite stand battle? What was your favorite scene? Anything? Just
okay. The fight with Superfly was that felt good. I did like the fight with Superfly. There's something about like there have been some dumb characters with stands up until now, but what really sets the tone is who's this next stand we're up against. It's literally the tower.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I can run with this. Sure, fuck it.
Yeah, Superfly was always my favorite part of part 4.
Yeah, Superfly is super good. Really good fight. As part 4 continued on more and more, I talked about myself being like a normie scumbag for Joseph. I am just as much of a normie loving scumbag for Dio. I would happily write an entire thesis on why I think that Dio is a great villain. However, that being said, anyone who... And there are a number of people who will say that Dio is shit compared to Kira because Kira is a much more complicated and deep villain. If you're going to say that, I will not contest you in the slightest. Because, Kira is still a fantastic villain. I slightly prefer Dio. Because I like a good old-fashioned villain who's just like, I'm gonna kick this puppy. Look at me kick this puppy. I'm such a bad guy.
He's loving it.
And you gotta respect it.
Yeah, but you see, Kira is like, I'll kick this puppy if it's in my way of having a peaceful life.
Does this puppy know that I am Yoshikage Kira?
Yeah.
Kill the
Not
puppy.
anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. The further you get into part 4, the more you start to look at Kira and go, oh man, I appreciate how much of an inside look I'm getting into how fucked up a character like this is. It's the greatest kind of thing about any episode of Criminal Minds, but with stands, and therefore better in every single way. So, Kira, his overall outro as a villain, fantastic. His overall, his overall worth as a character is very firmly there. It's very firmly established amongst the fan base, as it deserves to be. Really cool villain. Wouldn't talk shit about him for a second. Fuck, was he a messed up guy? Arguably, arguably more evil than Dio, but that's a whole different kind of debate. We can do that later. But I'm also a Kira fan. I have no problem with putting that out there.
Yep.
Can't
wait for the anime to get to the bathroom scene.
Oh fuck! No, wait, they've gotten there. Oh wait, you mean with Hayato?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so readers, people who didn't read, are going to be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I remember you posting about that, John. That's going to be the best scene.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. DP has not let us down yet. Good old David production.
Well,
surely pull through.
And then when it gets to part 5, oof, They're gonna start thinking that JoJo's like a hentai or something.
So I hear. I hear that part 5's a fucking murder fest.
Yeah.
Like just everyone dies. Just fuck you.
Well, nothing says gang violence like, hey, let's kill everybody we see.
You know what? Really kept to its theme well there.
Yeah.
Gotta get in some of that gangstar violence.
If Rolling Stone says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Fuck. I forgot about Rolling Stone. Like one day I just heard about its stand power and I'm like, what? And then I looked it up on the wiki and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I've just come to accept this. So yeah, in conclusion, part 4, my favorite part yet. I have high hopes. I have high hopes for part 5. Though word around town is that it's one of the weaker ones. But I will wait to make that judgment for myself.
Huh.
John, you have freshly finished part 5, so would you say that you liked it? Did you like part 5?
Okay, I liked part 5,
Okay.
just not as much as part 4.
That's it? Okay. Fair enough.
It gets really
Like
good at
part
the end.
5's got some really cool stands and a lot of bullshit.
Well, this is
like
JoJo
even
that we're
Geo
talking
himself is like, you know, that's bullshit, but I believe it.
about. Yeah. Right on. Okay, then I'll go into this with some reasonably high hopes. I'll give this a good shot.
Yeah.
And gotten a little bit further in Kirby Planet Robobot. I still have not beaten that game, but you know I've beaten a couple worlds now. And man, that like I'm not gonna pretend to be like a walking encyclopedia on all things Kirby because I'm not. I've only really played a few Kirby games, but
that's Wooly's job.
Yes. Yes. Wooly is Mr. Kirby. So, out of the few that I've played so far, this is easily my favorite Kirby game. Looking forward to seeing exactly how Gurren Lagann-y it gets, because I hear it gets very Gurren Lagann-y. So I'm just
Yes, it does.
I'm just smacking my lips in just anticipation for more of these giant robots. I need them in my life. So that's good. And that was pretty much my week. That's about it for me, folks.
Cool.
So I got 3 things to bring up, though very quick, because obviously we're going past the time that we normally do. One, I didn't know that we were getting a live-action Gintama film.
I didn't either.
I did.
So supposedly that's a thing.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's gonna be interesting. Also, for like the 2 people here that are probably interested, but I kind of already told you I did a live acoustic cover of Chase.
Yeah,
Part
you
4's
talked
theme.
about that. That's really cool.
And it turned out actually really well. So
Cool.
I'm gonna try to get it uploaded because we did record it, but I can't do much editing with it because it's kind of a live performance type of deal. And the last thing is, okay, so I didn't watch the Best Friends finish the JoJo Eyes of Heaven because
I
I'm
did.
gonna be doing an LP of myself. So Sterling, you saw it. Did anyone
Yes, I
else
did.
see the ending?
Yeah.
I have. I've not seen the ending, but I'm up to like episode 7, 8, something like that.
I think the extreme ending where it's just the cutscenes of the ending, that's
Yeah.
some of the best I've seen for a JoJo spin-off thing.
Okay, yeah, because what they're saying is like at the end of the credits or whatever, there's a part and it reveals something that people were just in love with.
It kind of makes me glad that I read part 6
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about it.
Well,
Okay.
Okay.
wait to
So
get to it.
spoiler warning. Okay. It's even though I didn't watch The Best Friends do it, I got it somewhere else off YouTube. Nick Fury comes out from behind a wall. He's got a briefcase, and you just. I'm not gonna give it all away, but you just want to just like a Marvel film, you want to stick to the end of the credits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to get to it then. But first, I gotta catch up on all the JoJo's just so I understand who the fuck all these characters are. And that's all I had there for 3. It's just like, I heard that the ending pulls out a surprise that everyone loved. I had no idea there was a Gintama live action film thing, and I just wanted to bring it up for the people who knew about the whole music stuff that it did happen. I'm going to try to upload it. If it's not going to be uploaded to my SoundCloud, maybe YouTube to make it easier for everyone.
Thank you, John.
And then it'll get taken down.
Yes.
Well, let's get into our homework this week, submitted to us by the lovely John Lamy.
My mistake.
Would you like to introduce it, or should I?
Well, let's see. I just call it the Super Mario Brothers Super Show Japanese Edition.
The actual title, of course, is the Super Mario Bros. Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach, circa 1986.
And
So
you
who
want
wants to start this
go
lovely
deeper
adventure
into it?
for us?
I
Okay.
don't.
I'll take the reins. I'll take that segue.
Go ahead, go right ahead.
Thank you.
So first off, what you want, what a trivia person would go to as the first thing to say about this is that apparently it's the first animated movie based on a video game.
Yep.
Nani?
Gasp. And is also directed by Masami Hata,
Yep.
who has done notable things as Ringing Bell, Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland, Initial D, worked on some things on Initial D, cough cough, and many, many more that are in line with this kind of fantastic acid trip of a movie. So right off the bat, I'm going to be frank with all you people. I freaking loved this animated movie.
So you're hooked on the brothers.
Well, when Luigi came in with that team, man, I knew we were gonna have the start of a great adventure.
Like,
And nothing's more meta than Mario playing video games at the start of the movie.
so right off the bat, this whole movie reminded me of when I was a child, and I would get up super early on Saturday mornings, and because nothing was on, not even Saturday morning cartoons, I was like, well, what do I do? Well, apparently my grandmother had all of these VHS tapes all around her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch some VHS tapes of some old cartoons, and some of them include, Little Nemo, the freaking Adventures in Slumberland. Oh boy, another one, Snoopy and the freaking Giant Pumpkin. Oh boy, and then some Muppet Babies. Oh boy, and then a lot of other like Five Field and all that Cracker Jacks. like, oh man, like it reminded me of those old cartoons that are like very nonsensical, but are like, you know what? This is fine for a child. Yeah, this is fun for a child. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I just remember like reliving that, and I'm like, oh my god, I loved this. But I will be fair with its number that I will be choosing in a bit. But anyway, also noted is that this is the 1986 anime film based on the Super Mario Brothers video game, which is, yes, that first Super Mario Brothers video game. That's what it was based on. Nothing else after it. It wasn't based on the third one or that second one that was with turnips and whatever and beat Birdo. Nope, not that one. Nope. It's freaking based on the first one. And oh boy, does Liberties take itself infinite in ways that this cartoon just goes on off about. So right off the bat, you get freaking Mario playing freaking video games in his 17-year-old voice for some reason. Like 17-year-old anime hero voice. And freaking Luigi is like, yo dog, what you doing in here playing video games? Get back, go to sleep, boy.
Drink your tea and go to bed.
we got a shop to do, yo.
Because they run a grocery store.
Yeah, they run a grocery store.
What the fuck? Even?
It sells boots and
They're
brushes.
not plumbers. Why would you ever think they were plumbers? Gosh.
Oh, don't forget, this is the rare, only animated version that has Luigi's actual costume. The classic blue. Before the censorship went on. In later years, and they changed his colors to green, so they can make more money.
So yeah, like right off the bat, he's like, "Go back to sleep or go to bed, yo." Like, and Mario's like, "Nah, I gotta finish this." And then all of a sudden, Mario solves the cube and Hellraiser comes out, and freaking Koopa King and all these Koopalings come out from the game that basically he wasn't even playing that game, but all of a sudden, it's coming out for no reason. Gotta get on your toes, Mario. And then all of a sudden he's freaking introduced to Princess Peach, a very I don't know how to explain the voice of Princess Peach exactly, but oh boy, does that sound like a Princess Peach worth saving, I would suppose. That's all I gotta say. But
if you don't mind, my 2 cents. Honestly, her voice, it's kind of hard to pin. Most because the voice actor hardly did anything else. But like you know the style of voice. They picked her for a purpose, and
and that purpose
she
was
kind of gave off the. At first listen, I thought that she was the same girl that did Rin in Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
Had sort of the same vocal tendencies of a 9-year-old girl. Very she projects very well. And only has a few lines, also like Rin. In the very beginning, of course, I'm talking about pre-time skip Rin, of course.
Yeah.
For those who are familiar. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. That's why I immediately looked up and found that she had almost no voice acting career whatsoever.
That's surprising, really.
I know, right?
So, anyways, all hell breaks loose. He gets introduced to Princess Peach, and then all of a sudden, Koopa King comes out with his 14-year-old voice, going, "Hey guys,
What's up?
What's
I'm
up?
a kid too.
what's up? What's all the dealio here? Give me Princess Peach." And then like, "Oh geez, I'm gonna fight you with my bare knuckles, you big huge turtle, you." And then all of a sudden it just like, okay, I'll just kidnap back the princess and go back into the TV, and then lights out for you, Mario. And then Luigi comes in and is like, "What the heck is all this racket? Aren't you supposed to go back to sleep?" He's like, "Oh geez, didn't you see anything? Oh, okay, fine, I guess I will." And then the next day they're in their grocery store, selling groceries to old ladies, and then which really doesn't amount to anything, but whatever. All of a sudden a dog just pops out of nowhere. A very weird looking, acid trippy looking dog with 3 circles for a body. Just comes into their shop and like, "Oh hey, I'm guessing he had Princess Peach's brooch." Oh, he took Princess Peach's brooch away from Mario.
Yeah, he's like, "There's no dog food in here." And he's like, "I know what." He's like, "Get out of my way."
Get out my way, fool. And then all of a sudden Mario and Luigi is chasing this dog into a very contrived song.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden,
by the way, Sterling, the dog does have a name. It's called Kibidongo, which roughly translates into dumpling dog. So we can call him DD from now on.
Awesome, DD. All right, cool. So DD leads them into this industrial site of pipes for absolutely no reason. Oh, but there was a reason. One of those pipes led to the freaking kingdom that.
And then all the other ones were
in.
just illusions.
Yeah, all of them were illusions. Whoa! And then all of a sudden, a very, very hairy man comes out of nowhere and says, "You gotta collect the Triforce, or else King Koopa's gonna marry the princess."
On Friday evening.
Friday the 13th.
On the next Friday the 13th, because this Friday the 13th, nah, son,
Nah,
the
dog.
next one. Oh, okay, I'll have, I guess, 2 months to get to that.
You got your freaking nudie paleo wizard telling you what to do there. His whole outfit's made of his own body hair.
Yeah. Basically, Bayonetta's ancestor tells Mario to collect all the Triforce, but no, not that Triforce, Legend of Zelda. Get out the way. The Triforce that includes the mushroom, the star, and the flower.
No,
those classic items from the first game that literally has no extreme importance other than to boost your character for a short time until you get hit. Yeah,
No, Sterling.
those items.
You're forgetting the full name that he gives them. It was the mushroom of wisdom. It was the flower of love, and it was the star of power.
Yeah. Yep. So
Hashtag we had greenlit by Nintendo.
So they say, "Okay, we'll go do that." But Luigi's there just like, "You know what? I came to this kingdom to make some coin. Give me some coin."
Coin.
And then like the old guy is like, "You know what? This whole kingdom is all full of coins. You can have whatever you want." And then Luigi's like, I got you." So then they start their quest into another contrived song, and they find freaking mushrooms everywhere. And yes, those kinds of mushrooms, the kinds that are drugs.
The no kind.
The no kinds of mushrooms, and a big huge turtle with wings comes up and picks Mario out from the mushroom garden where Luigi was eating some shrooms. And yeah, for the reason of eating shrooms. And then one thing leads to another, and then, oh hey, he finds the mushroom of wisdom, I think it is. And then all of a sudden, oh wait, that was actually Toadette. And all these coins were all toads. Wow! And then it turns out that, oh yeah, I actually have this mushroom here, right in my pocket.
This really tiny
here
one
you
compared
go.
to the other. Oh,
Yeah.
don't forget Toadette is like 3 stories
Yeah,
high.
freaking 8 stories high. Yeah.
Compared to all the other toads that look normal.
She's basically Bayonetta.
Mm.
Well, I think I'm guessing explain away why she's 8 stories high is because she was in the possession of the mushroom of wisdom. Because wisdom gives you
Height.
extreme height, I guess. But yeah, other than that, they continue their quest to another contrived song with which is bishi bishi bachi bachi, or whatever you want to call it.
We are Superman.
Everything about it is so good. I love that music.
It's the most Japanese 80s
Yeah.
song you ever heard in your life.
Bachi bachi. And they go on to get the flower, and then you get to finally get introduced to Lakitu and his spinies, and then all hell breaks loose, and there's a whole extreme process of waking up those spinies. Oh boy.
We had no idea. The game's just making. He just did it so
We
fast in
didn't
the
know
games.
that this movie was supposed to be this much time. We gotta pad this thing out. So that's what they did, and one thing leads to another, and then oh hey look, it's the flower of love. And then they continue their quest and into another conceited song.
What are you
And
talking about?
then where he freaking
It's so
murders 2 turtles with his fire flower that he's in possession of for like 2 seconds, and then continues on his way until he gets into a freaking gold mine, and then gets trapped in it with Luigi, because Luigi's a greedy boy. And
That's the joke here. Is Luigi wants money. That's his
the whole
name.
joke of Luigi in this movie is that he's greedy. Good for you. And then they get trapped in there, and then it's like, it's at that precipice of where the marriage ceremony is gonna be due soon. And then all of a sudden, because Luigi has a shovel, and he's been pickaxing also, and went tunneling, like, oh hey, we could just break out. Okay. And then they break out. And oh wait, there's a Hammer Bros right there? Nah, we can take care of it, whatever, who cares? And then all of a sudden one thing leads to another, and they're in the air with the star of power in a freaking floating boat. Okay, cool. And like all throughout this time, okay, excuse me. All throughout this time, they've been having music from the actual game, which is fine, I guess.
And assets and sound effects.
Assets, yeah. That WAV file that they have right there. And they're going throughout that whole air song from the freaking Mario Brothers, whatever level. And one thing leads to another, and they're at the castle, and they're gonna freaking go for King Koopa and like beat him up. But oh wait, you actually have to digest those Triforce items like you have to do in Bloodborne and the 3 umbilical cords. Oh boy, you gotta get that secret ending. And so they do that, but all of a sudden, when he has to eat the Star of Power, out of nowhere, a freaking Mario sprinkled
the seaweed flake
product placement comes out of thin air and distracts Mario, and he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta have these sprinkles for my Mario ramen. It's
Those are real,
folks.
by the way. Those are real. I looked it up. That's actually real fucking ramen that came out.
It's good for you folks. Get to that eating, and then provides the situation with some conflict because all of a sudden he drops the Star of Power. Oh my gosh! And then in a scene very quintessential towards the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, King Koopa stomps Mario before he gets the Star of Power into his mouth. But oh wait, he did do that, and now he's super powered. He's Super Saiyan God Mario, and now he's punching the stomach of King Koopa into oblivion.
I can't let Mario go. He's already eaten the mushroom and the flower. He may come back to haunt me later.
So then he does the Team Rocket stance at the end, where he just poofs out of existence all the way into the air with a gleaming hope left behind.
And then it explodes.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh jeez. Thanks, Mario, says Princess Peach. You saved me from not being married to a Koopa, because I'm racist and I hate turtles.
No, I don't have to fuck a turtle. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
So yay, and then what's their reward? Oh, a kiss on the nose and nothing else? Oh, thanks, Princess Peach, but I was thinking of something a little bit more. Like maybe I could marry you? And then Princess Peach is like,
and have a date.
And then Princess Peach is like, nah, that was enough. I'm looking for somebody to marry that has the same piece of this gemstone that you brought back to me. And I, oh really? You mean the gemstone that I brought back to you? Is that not payment enough to marry you? Like, nah. And at that pristine moment, the heavens parted. The sun shone on the dog that was with Mario and Luigi the whole time. All of a sudden, poof, there looks a man. Oh, it looks like a prince. Oh, what's that around his neck? Is that a gemstone? The same as Princess Peach, what she was saying? Oh boy. Oh man, I bet this movie is so gonna be good. It's gonna say, nah, I don't need him. I'm gonna go with Mario because he was the real hero, right, kids? Nah, you're wrong. It's Notre Dame in this house, boy. It's gonna be, yo, get out of my face, Mario and Luigi. I found my marriageable partner right here. It was the dog the whole time.
Super Mario Brothers, more like Super Cock Brothers, am I right?
Yep. And roll credits. The end.
Fuck. Alright. if you don't mind if I interject, I would just like to do two things. First of all, I'd just like to point out that one thing I actually do appreciate in this movie, and trust me, there's not a lot. There's not a lot that I appreciate in this movie. But I appreciate the fact that Princess Peach is like, I'm gonna try and trick Bowser and take him on myself. She's actually like, I'm gonna try and step up and do something. And try and do a thing. It's like, oh, okay, transform into a cuddly little teddy bear. Okay,
Come on, do it. I love
if that'll make you happy. I trapped you, fucker.
Like,
No,
nah,
you
that doesn't
didn't
work,
actually.
boy.
Yeah,
Not
so apparently
really.
Bowser can transform into anything he wants
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Because
just kinda gave
he
up.
has the magic to turn toads into bricks and coins. And apparently other mushrooms. So yeah. And apparently his magic was so strong that he turned a prince into a dog as well. So yeah.
Just like they did in Full Metal Alchemist.
Now,
So,
gentlemen,
yeah,
if we do take a look at this film and we really think hard about it, okay, you'll notice that it's almost exactly like another film. A film very close to my heart. Now, I'm not quite sure how many of you guys will be familiar with this film, but it is actually Conan the Destroyer.
Yes.
This is almost scene by scene an allusion to Conan the Destroyer. As soon as I
I
saw,
know how.
as soon as I saw the marriage ceremony, I knew.
Yeah. So what you're saying to me is that Conan the Destroyer, the movie, the directors and producers stole the script for Super Mario Brothers, the anime edition?
Now, Sterling, stealing is a very harsh word, especially in the 80s, okay? As we all know, as long as we're stealing from Japan, it's not theft.
True. True.
I
Very
mean,
true.
just look at Disney. Where would they be without stealing every culture's everything?
Yep. In fact,
Copyright? Oh, that copyright only works when you have a localized office in the country that we're in.
yeah.
Or accurate representation in our country at the time and not, after.
So yeah. So what did you guys think of it? I've already told you what I thought about it, and I loved it.
Would you like me to sum up everything that I love about this movie right now?
Well,
Sure, go ahead.
if that's what
It's
you want.
it's not gonna be in a traditional way,
Uh-huh.
but all right, here you go. Just a moment.
Yeah.
No man will be DC made.
It's yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
about enough. That's about enough.
Thank you.
There's my. There- There's my full review of Super Mario, the animated.
So what did you think of it, Josiah?
Well, from a purely professional standpoint, I would give it a strong 4 out of 10.
You're generous than me.
Because, like, they had all the assets. The backgrounds and scenery were very.
They had all the assets.
All that was all. At least it was within the right realm. Now, of course, somehow Mario didn't understand that Goombas were enemies and called them Sir several times and was very polite to them. Even though Goombas are like the lowest tier ranked enemy in the Mario universe.
It's the first one that they give to you to kill, so
And of course, there was the Koopa Troopa, the one that flies. And that was a weird situation.
The 8-foot story tall one?
Well, not just that, but the one that was flying and took him to the nest. That was really weird. And apparently it was a woman and it wasn't an enemy. There's a lot of continuity errors as far as the plot or lack thereof,
quote unquote.
And so it was really hard to keep my attention, like at all, except for of course the time they hit the block and got all that Mario Ramen, or the Mario flakes, the seaweed flakes, and the bowl of rice, and wine, the most important part of the. I guess Japan didn't have commercials at that time yet, but I guess it is a movie. It's different. But no, it's just a little bit more subtle on the product placement. At least a little bit subtle for like a Japanese film. Sometimes subtlety isn't their best. Sometimes it is their best, and sometimes it really isn't their best. But no, all in all, it's a pretty funny thing to watch with a whole bunch of people. It's a so bad it's good type of thing.
Definitely.
But still, from like a plot standpoint, I really can't give it anything better than a 4.
And what are your thoughts?
Although the backgrounds were very colorful and creative, and of course we got the first pink piranha plants.
Yeah.
But honestly, it started out better than our Mario movie, and in that it actually recited what was said in the manual, and the Bowser was actually accurate to the picture in the manual. So that was a great foot to start on. Didn't really end that well though.
So what are your thoughts on it, John?
Alright, so I gotta do my every time bullshit thing, of course.
Well, is this a deserving one?
Well, it's what some would say is their favorite part. But, yeah. So, I'll start off by going, Hey Mario, what are they doing? Luigi, it's Japan! They're taking our game and making a movie out of it! Oh, I don't think I like the look of that, Mario! So, as it starts out, Mario is an MLG pro gamer. By the way, this Mario does not live in the Mario world.
Nope.
I don't know if he lives in Tokyo, if he lives in anywheres in Japan, if he lives in Mexico. I can't tell.
I forgot.
Well, based on that sombrero scene, yeah.
That's super racist scene. How could I forget that?
How could you forget that good old-fashioned Japanese racism?
What do you mean old-fashioned?
Yeah, fair enough.
Peach was showing her Smash skills on TV.
Yep.
Alright. So it was a little bit strange when Mario went up to Peach and he was like, "Hey, Moshi Mosh," because that's normally how you answer the phone in Japan.
Mario desu.
Yeah, like that's at least what my Japanese friends said. They're like, most of the times when you're saying hello to someone, it's konnichiwa if you don't know them. So I was expecting that, but then instead he's like Moshi Mosh. I'm like, what? What is this? Is he treating Peach like a phone?
Well, let's be real. Peach is a film.
Now, I'm no Japan expert, so I'm sure people will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but normally you don't go up to a human being and be like, oh, moshi mosh. Most times, even if you know them, you go, yo.
I wouldn't
go
know,
ahead.
to be honest.
Bowser had a really creepy rape face
Well,
when he came out of the TV.
But being the 2016 man we all love and know him to be in 1986, he was waiting for her joyful consent throughout the movie. Although at this point they didn't have forms, which is, of course, a little bit Neanderthalish, but it was 1986, so I guess I can forgive him a little bit until, of course, I have to whitewash history.
I laughed a bit, actually quite loudly, when Bowser and Peach did Persona 4, touching TV and going back into the TV world. Mario tries to go in, and all it does is play the game over music when he hits the screen. So it's like, hey, good job, loser. I was like, oh my god.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Then we get to the part where they're working at the grocery store, and there's a woman coming in to bake a cake. But you see, she wasn't cooking by the book. So... There you go. There's a Lazy Town reference in this now. Oh, and let's not forget that snazzy finger-snapping song that just played.
Of course.
Woo!
And, of course, sugoi! There was that frame that had the Mexican Mario sombrero head, and then above him was like a Ouija stare from Luigi.
Yeah.
So, of course, Princess Peach gets kidnapped, and Mario is suffering from crippling depression. He can't even function normally at his job, because in order to make a cake, supposedly she needs a mop, a pair of boots, and some other weird shit. Then you have the Wiggler dog show up.
It is a Wiggler dog.
Let's not forget, as you mentioned, Luigi in this series is wearing blue and yellow.
The traditional Luigi costume.
Blue and yellow, blue and
You know what it is.
So once they finally get to the Mushroom Kingdom, they meet up with Gandalf the White, who tells them all about the shit that's happening. And also we find out, oh wait, this isn't a Mario and Luigi movie. This is a Wario and Luigi movie. Because they're all about them coins.
Oh, wow.
Also, if you look at the background of the cave, it looks like they landed on fucking Namek.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Then, of course, there was the whole gather the Triforce. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Then we get to the part, like you said, where he brings out the rice and he's like, oh, seaweed. That's great, Luigi. I'm dreaming about pasta, Luigi. Then Luigi is told by the Goombas that, hey, there's mushrooms over here, buddy. Come over here. And Luigi goes 420 all day.
Yep.
I
So
got
then
some of this good
Luigi
stuff
like
underneath my coat here.
yeah,
Go on.
Luigi eats the pissed off mushroom and hits Mario with the and then he gets picked up the Paratroopa, and we find out that Koopas and Paratroopas in this are fucking kaijus.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, other than Big World and Super Mario World 3, That didn't exist. Yeah, Mario teaches kids that throwing mushrooms in people's mouths solves all your problems.
Yeah.
Because
Take
remember,
all
he
the
gets
drugs.
the little children birds, which, by the way, Koopas have bird children, not turtles. And
They're
he
just
throws
birds.
mushrooms in their mouth and gets them high.
Their shells grow in later.
Yeah. So, coins turn into toad stands because first they look like they're ghost. And it's like, oh, that's pretty fucking dark. But then we find out, oh no, wait, they're not dead. And they didn't say if it was Toadette or Toad. So
It
I
was
put down in my notes, ooh, Toad is kawaii. Also, then it goes back to that finger-snapping good song there. Oof, about how Mario loves men and men loves Mario.
Yeah.
And part of it, he becomes Ultraman. Because he just grows like 10 stories tall. He's like, yep, I did it. There's that taunt in Super Smash Brothers. Okay, so I don't remember in any Super Mario where Lakitu became a thunder god like Enyu from One Piece. I don't remember that.
It's canon. It was in the movie.
Then you were playing the wrong Mario games, man.
And not only that, but did you know that if you cover Spinies in snow, they die and then turn into beds of flowers? Because when that happened, I had the JonTron moment of, what? What the fuck?
Just like Sonic.
And of course, Subarashi blocks contain ramen. Who knew? We find out that Peach is a bitch. And that Bowser did nothing wrong.
I mean, he's
Because
got
you
to marry
see-
a princess. I mean,
Yeah.
he's royalty.
But I mean, like, the whole thing was like, Princess Peach, isn't there anything I can do for you? Like, he's being that friend that lets you, like, stomp on his back and gets friend zoned all the time. And then, like, I love how Peach was basically Speedwagon in the fact that she used her name in her speech. She was like, but Peach wants to do dress up. So it's like Peach wants to do dress up coolly. Yeah, and then we found out Bowser had transformation powers this whole fucking time. He can turn to whatever he could have turned to Mario and be like, sup, this is what you wanted?
It's like Mystique.
He could have turned to a prince and be like, hey, check it out.
Check it out.
He could have turned to Birdo and been like, this is weird. And then there was that whole moment where Mario was like, no one puts Princess Peach in the corner. Also, somehow, for some reason, in this game, they activated the infinite breath cheat in the water. Because supposedly Mario can swim forever.
To be fair, he could in the games too, though.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Mario and Luigi find the Flying Dutchman and take it to the skies. Because you see, Luigi's gonna be king of the pirates. He's gonna be king. Then we cut to the Conan the Barbarian wedding that's going on between Princess Peach and Bowser. And then they get into their fight after the Flying Dutchman, I don't know, Kazakami's into the area. And friggin' Mario gives Bowser, he's like, "Hey, check it out, Luigi. Shoryuken." And he hits fucking Bowser with Shoryuken. And then he goes, "So long, gay Bowser." And throws him off into the fucking distance.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Not bad.
I forgot about that on
Not
your clip.
bad.
All this just so Mario can get cock-blocked in the end.
Yeah.
So again, are you all hooked on the brothers? Because there's only one thing left. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Take one step, and then again, let's all do the Mario all together now.
I want you to tell me.
I kind of wanted that to play at the
where
end.
That came from. I'm not
Oh,
sure
the swing
where
your arms from side to side?
Yeah.
Do the Mario is from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It was the
Yeah.
ending song.
Uh-huh.
And it had Captain Louie, a wrestler who soon, I don't know if it's soon after that, died. It has him very drunkly doing the Mario.
Do you mean to tell me that a wrestler died?
Mm.
That's some.
And then,
That's some.
and he was dancing
unheard of
drunkly.
shit.
Supposedly he also swears in it. Like he says, "F you, Luigi." And, yeah, like people could obviously tell he was drunk at the end of that because he does like a double step because he lost his balance. They're like, "Oh man, he's so drunk when he's doing this." And it just ends like, "Just like that." And then he does the two steps and it's like, "Oh, I feel bad for him." So, yeah. I don't know. I actually enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
But like in the way that I was just sitting back and just letting the fun go.
Uh-huh.
I just sat, took my notes, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be good.
So what would you give it?
I normally don't do ratings, so I just say if you're drunk, or if you're high, or if you're doing a podcast and want to make shitty jokes, like we just made, yeah, this is a movie to watch and review.
That's not fair. I think that our jokes are top notch.
Yeah. Just like my impressions are 100% accurate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
like,
actually true, though.
yeah, okay.
No, they're good.
Well, just understand, the chain smoking Mario I was doing was a meme in the first place.
Uh-huh.
He was the YouTube poop Mario. So
you-
I actually
you
watched a
mean-
few episodes of that.
So you mean to tell me that wasn't actually John Leguizamo?
So yeah, I mean, go ahead, watch it if you want something to watch that's, goofy and funny, and like if you're a Japanese kid. Basically, if you're a 20-year-old now and want to feel like a Japanese 5-year-old waking up and popping in the VHS of Super Mario while eating your ramen bowl of Mario ramen, then there you go. So go to your store, buy some Mr. Noodles, and get the full experience.
Oh, Mr. Noodles.
Oh man.
And sprinkle seaweed on your rice.
So what would you give it, Matthew?
I would give it. I would give it like. I want to give it a 10 on 10. I want to give it a 10 on 10 because like the incredible lasting power of that soundtrack makes up for just about everything. But I don't feel it's justified. I really want to, but I don't feel it's justified. I can't do it. Can't bring myself to do that. So instead, I have to give it like a 2.
Ooh.
This is a good solid 2. It can't be a 0. In fact, it can't even be a 1 because the music alone is just.
Of course.
Yeah, but Everything else is the most nothing thing you have ever seen in your entire life. If you, like, take any kind of adventure movie and you look at the overall formula and you take out the main cast and you copy paste over Mario and knock off Blue Luigi, then hey, goddamn man, you've got yourself this animated special. So it is effectively worthless. It would be worthless if not for those banging beats. So go up and download the soundtrack of this movie, and you do not need anything else. And that's all for me.
So of course, I love this movie, but I would give it a 3 out of 10. I'm gonna meet all you guys in the middle.
That's fair.
I was going to give it a 2 as well, but I'm like, nah, I love it a bit too much than that. I can see the potential there. Now, what I'm going to compare this to is going to be off the walls chains. If you ever remember the first Family Guy Christmas special, and if you ever remember that one special that Peter wants to watch, which is Kiss Save Santa.
Kiss Christmas? Yeah, that's great. Kiss Save Santa. That's awesome.
That special, that right there, this Super Mario Brothers freaking Rescue Princess Peach anime movie is that and nothing more. Like it's basically in that right.
Like the rawest irony of the whole Family Guy situation is I can't think of a single person that I know of who used to watch Family Guy who still is interested in Family Guy. However, that being said, if fucking Kiss Save Santa came out, boy, let me tell you, I'd be down for that in a heartbeat.
But basically what I'm trying to say is that its extreme ridiculousness shines its extreme awesomeness in that it's just not really even that great, but because it's all these things melded together to make a nothing almost, but then all of a sudden everybody just like, yo, that's something that I would watch, or like here and there, and like, oh, here there's some good animation here and there for like a split second, and then oh yeah, stuff like that. And a 3 out of 10 is what I would give it. So yeah, I guess it's just on to this freaking extra credit.
Berk was good this week.
Define good.
Well, we had our shimmering silver-haired guardian angel show up, so how could it be bad, right?
Well, now I'm no artist, but I know what I like.
That's fair.
And I don't think it's fair to even compare this undeserving image to our great Lord Griffith.
Don't you mean Griffiths?
Griffiths.
Griffiths.
I have a cold.
Man, like for some reason, every time that Guts has to botch a name, it's gonna have to be Griffiths.
It's gonna have to be the one name he can't botch.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
I have some things that, for some reason, I was like, I think stomaching it for like quite some time, but then now it's just like, and of course I'm going off of the 3 episodes that I missed as well, and pretty much like I don't really have to go over everything that all you guys said because I'm pretty much in tune with all you guys. But I just cannot get over the fact that Guts' 3D model looks like horrible plastic surgery gone wrong. I just can't. I can't get over how bad Guts looks, and I was stomaching it from the beginning. I'm like, you know what? This is gonna get better. I'm gonna. Okay, all right. Oh, hey, there's some spots of 2D animation of close-ups of his face. Hey, those look good. Maybe they'll animate design the 3D model as the 2D representation that they so need to bring to me. But nope.
Can we just talk about the well for a second? I remember when I was a young boy, I would go out with my Gramsci mama, and we would go and fetch water for the well. So I usually have pretty good feelings, pretty good memories, nostalgia when it comes to wells. But no, not this one. The well is a point in which they decided, hey, it's really kinky. Let's animate 2D their heads while keeping their bodies 3D. It'll be the coolest thing you've ever seen. I mean, not even Beast Wars did that. I mean, come on.
If fucking Beast Wars can't do it, then no one can do it, man. See, it's gotten weird with me, Sterling. Just to catch you up a bit. This will only take 10-15 seconds.
I know you. Yes, go
on. I've gotten past those 3D models, especially since they've gotten quite a bit better. That's all fine and dandy, They've stepped their game up. The only thing that bothers me now is when 2D and 3D occupy the same frame.
Now, it bothers me when they can't decide which scene gets the 2D and which one gets the 3D. And which one so deservingly needs to have the 2D. Like, nah, we could do that 3D. Oh, that one scene that nobody cares about? Freaking 2D the Cracker Jacks out of that! That's what everybody needs. So, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
But, yeah. Like, I have, almost no qualms about 3D modeling and, as a whole for the whole show. Like, I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'm watching cubics, whatever, who cares? But every time I see Guts' face, I always think I'm looking at some kind of... plastic surgery gone wrong, man. I don't know. That chin, those cheeks look a little bit too
beautiful.
Freaking too long for my tastes.
I almost feel like you're mocking me, but you're too nice a guy for that. So I would never let that thought enter my head.
And also, let's not forget about where Griffith, got on his mount, Zod, and Griffith was 2D and Zod was 3D.
I also got a freaking, when Zod appears at the end of the previous episode, I'm like, ooh boy, I hope his 3D model isn't garbage.
And it wasn't, honestly.
And it was, though.
The 3D modeling itself wasn't garbage. It was how it was used and how it broke every scene that it was in.
Well, I would say that was a horrible... Well, I'm going off of the colorization. I don't really... The colorization of Zod, for some reason, seems a bit odd.
Yeah, it did seem a little purplish.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the textures were there, the size, the shape, the one horn, everything was there. It was a complete model. It had textures. So
they did their 4 hours. It was fine.
For the barely amount of time that he was there, I think they did a good job on his model. It's just, why did they have to put him in all the scenes where they had 2D people running away from him and getting squished by him?
Also, barrels are top tier. Every time you get into a bad situation,
they're really good.
Go inside a barrel and you'll come out of any kind of conflict, a nuclear bomb, an apocalypse, the plague. You'll come out. You'll come out of that 100% okay.
See, piles of coats are that's the old shit. That's in the past. That's outdated now. No one needs that. The barrel, this new and fantastic technology, the barrel, has been proven to now be the hottest shit. No one even looks at piles of coats now. Done.
So yeah, basically this ends the little, I guess, run
First half.
of Berserk until they redo the whole thing again of 3D models. Maybe they can get smarter and do some more 2D. And we got our glimpse of that Berserk armor, maybe. And that witch girl, Lolito.
Witch, yeah.
But yeah, overall, well, I'm gonna go like from the first 3 episodes that I missed. Those were shaping up to go towards, I guess, episodes that could rival or even go over the, I guess, overhyped episode 2 that I was giving it. And I was like, you know what, these are good, these are fine. Freaking Guts goes against Angemon. It was fun. Sandshrew, which was weird because I never seen Sandshrew in that color before, but it must have been a shiny.
Well, it was also really dark outside too. And there's also the new Aloha versions too. You never know.
Yeah.
But it was just really weird to see, Sandshrew get beat by a fire type Pokemon. That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Even when he did his auras on Gatsu, with his wings, and it always kind of, even in the mango, I was always kind of like, really? That's how they're gonna survive? That's the reason how they do that? Okay, fine. I guess that's how they do that. But other than that, still a very good 3 episodes, and then this one drops. I'm like, well, at least I'll look forward to something in the spring when it hopefully turns out something a little bit better, a little bit more polished, something that could rival Jimmy Neutron, something.
Can anything?
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole reason we made the podcast, is in search of something that could finally beat Jimmy Neutron.
The secrets of podcast origins.
When Jacob gathered up his disciples, he didn't know, but we knew. So yeah, enough of me. What about you guys? What did you think about it?
I have very little to say. All of the things that are worth joking about on my end, the incredible durability of barrels has now been covered. No need to go over that twice. But
in the special edition of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, George Lucas wanted a barrel, but they just couldn't. The commentary track was like, nah. That was the one thing that
we
the
said
people.
No to.
It's like, we can't get that secret out of here. We can't. Just put it as a fridge, and everybody will be going along their lives not knowing that the barrel was actually
was the first.
See, this is extra funny to me because when the two of us were joking about the unstoppable power of barrels, that scene was literally all that was going through my mind. Like, yeah, Indiana Jones, basically the fridge scene. And one of the things that kind of occurred to me, like years after I watched The Crystal Skull, is like, why didn't we see a barrage of other fridges like come out of the city? There should have been at least a couple more fridges inside of that mock town. If you're gonna put like one of those mock houses with like a fridge, then what are the odds you're only going to test with one? You gotta put 2 or 3 more. But just the lone fridge, and I always thought back on that, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Well, maybe it was one of those ritzy people who got their new refrigerators in the new house, and they were workshopping on that idea. And like, you know what? That if a nuclear bomb went off, that ritzy family, they're gonna have one survivor in there, at least one.
Well, not necessarily. That also depends on how many barrels they have.
Well, again, we shouldn't know this knowledge. Even though the special edition of Crystal Skull, the commentary track, gives away a little bit too much, but you know.
Yeah, though. Not too much else that I can say. I enjoyed the end of this season, I guess we can call it, for Berserk. I think things have wrapped up nicely. It's coming into its own pretty well. And I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next. It's a bit of a shame that there's not much to comment on in this episode, but
yeah, it's just kind of
yeah, apart from Griffith himself, what really was there to talk about? We've got a few more factions of people that are like, hey, I'm not dead, I'm gonna go with you. Okay, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah.
And so we've got a few individual parties. We've got some potential for seeing where things are going to go next. Farness being like, listen, this whole job thing, I'm gonna quit it. That's it's kind of ballsy. And, Serpico is a nice enough guy where he's like, alright, I'll still follow you, so
yeah.
Good on him. It's very decent of him, I suppose.
He's a beta anyways.
Yeah. There you go, yeah. So yeah, not too much else to say about Berserk. I am curious about what we're going to be getting into when it comes to extra credit from here on in.
It's a surprise.
Maybe. Well, it's for you guys to decide, because I guess the extra credit was my idea. It would be nice to see, I don't know, something from I guess
I know
a new season, maybe of Animu.
It's gonna be Drifters.
Oh yeah.
I'd be super down for that, actually. I'm game. I'm completely game.
I gotta go watch that.
It'll be like
OVA.
night and day.
So yeah.
So yeah. That's about it for me, for Berserk. I'm good.
Who are you lobbing it towards?
Hiyo! Josiah, why don't you give us your thoughts on the wrap-up of this segment?
Oh, you know what my thoughts are. I've been saying this in the very beginning. This is a very lousy ending to a very lousy series that had had some continuity errors, but kept most of it close to its heart. It did feel like Berserk, but the jarring visuals kept me questioning constantly if it did. Overall, I don't even know. I have to watch through the entirety in one sitting a couple times just to figure out what my score is. It's kind of hard when it's week to week. I mean, because I haven't seen the second episode in a while, and I'm kind of missing it at this point. But to give it more of just like a soft review here is that this is pretty awful compared to the previous
even the
installations of Berserk. Although technically this is the same series, how I don't know, but that's what they keep on trying to spoon feed us. But besides all of that, I'm sticking with my classic theory that this is actually a series they made in 2006, and are trying to pass it off as something they made in 2016. For what reasons? I'm sure it's for money. But I mean, if you watch that intro and that outro, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like it was born and bred in 2006.
Yeah.
All right, Sterling, your turn.
Well, as a whole, like right around the point in which Mazga's shows the party or whatever, the torture room, that's where it felt to me where it's like, yeah, this is what Berserk is, boy. All this death and destruction and all this stuff, and the music as well goes with it as well. But it's just in the way that it's presented and how not really all that great the models are, even though that you can stomach most of it. And like, again, I'm like, you know what, if this is what it's gonna be for a series that I'm pretty much like, yo, this is Berserk, boy, like, you know what, I can get through this fairly easily. But it's, again, like, if you're not an extreme fan of a Berserk, then like, and you've only watched like the anime in the '97 and maybe the movies, if you're an Uber fan, an Uber normie fan, then like I can't even really recommend it as much as I would like to, because it's not even all that great. And with the memory that I have, knowing that I can pretty much pick up where everything is from episode 1 to 12, I would give this a solid 5.5 out of 10. And I think I would be pretty much generous with that assessment. The bad things, of course, like, even though the cinematography is there, you can see it. Like, that's what cinematography is the way that you see the movie and how it wants you to convey images and scenes and stuff like that. It's just like, there are some scenes that are just not that great to look at. And like, oh, here's an artistic choice. Here's that Dutch angle from this side. I'm like, nah, that doesn't work, dog. Just stop. And things like that. The animation quality, it goes in bursts of, hey, look, there's good 2D animation. Oh, here, look, that's some awful 3D animation. And it's just like, like, for every little good thing that it does do, there's a lot of bad things that it is also like equally does. And I think there's a little bit more good. That's why it's like a 5.5 and not just like a straight 5. I still don't think it like comes out of its own shell of being like, oh hey, this is actually really good, you should watch it. It's just like one of those things like, well, if you really like it, if you really like the series in its whole, then at least give it a try. At least get to like episode 2, like maybe freaking skip 3 or whatever. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it, is that as much potential it could have had, it didn't do enough. So yeah, that's me. As a whole, what did you think about it, John?
I gotta do my quick thing for the last episode there. So, episode 12 of Chalk Zone, the big blow up. Let's see what happens within it. Well, there was some playing of Donkey Kong the arcade game. What else? Well, you see Jelly Jiggler from Bobo there. He whispered some sweet words into Togepi's ears, which then activated our great Lord and Savior, Griffith, the Dio Brando,
Yes.
who kind of just appeared and was like, "What's up, Kono Dioda?" And then immediately, Casca was like, "Gotta get the D. Gotta get back over to the D." And then Guts was like, "No, don't you remember? Bad." Then he gets the squirt bottle and goes, "Tss, tss." Bad Casca.
And that just proves that, Griffith did nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Bowser, Griffith did nothing wrong. Just like Kira, did nothing wrong. Dio over heaven did nothing wrong. Oh, and let's not forget the Pillar Men showed up.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, "How dare you, Joseph Joestar? How dare you insult the Pillar Men? We will get our revenge." Oh, shit. Is it suddenly Final Fantasy 15 now? Behemoth was summoned. Oh, yeah.
That's that good shit. That's that shit that we like.
Oh, shit. Sorry, this kind of goes back to the Mario thing. I remember something that I wrote down, but I didn't say it for some reason. So this is a bonus for the Mario thing. Do you guys remember that the Goombas were basically patches, trusty patches?
Yes.
Leaving coins behind for Luigi and being like, "Oh, look, over there. There's some coins. You want the treasure, don't you?" It was just like, oh, here we go. Trusty patches. You gotta trust them. So maybe, Sigurd there in the well also fell for Trusty Patch's tricks. That's why she was like, "I'm cold, get me out of here." Then we can have some Estus soup. So yeah, as a total,
for the
I don't
whole
care.
series,
Watch it if you want. That's what I say. That's my score. If from what you heard from us, you like it, watch it if you want. I'm done. I'm done the jokes.
All right, let's wrap up this pony show, shall we, boys? What are you looking forward to? Let's keep it short, sweet, simple, selective. And how about you go first, Sterling? Let's hear what you're looking for.
I'm looking forward to, I guess, proceed with what I'm trying to do this whole month, which is music. Also, I have me me nana grandmother coming down this Monday to get us children to go to a wedding the following weekend. And I'll be like, oh geez, okay, fine. And that's up in, I think, Oregon? Oh geez. So I have that to look forward to. Game-wise, nothing much. Finishing whatever I have to finish. Nothing really coming out. Hopefully there's something on the PS Plus that's new that comes out Tuesday or Monday. Deals or what have you, new games. Other than that, hopefully get through this anime stuff that I have planned, and that's about it. What about you, John Lamey? What are you looking forward to?
Alright, like part 8 of JoJo, it's done. It's over. Right?
Uh-huh.
No.
That's the final one.
No. It's part 8's not even done yet.
Iraqi will never be freed. Even if we set up a protest saying free Iraqi. They'll be like, nope.
No more torturing immortals in their souls.
Yeah.
Their precious, precious souls.
They'll turn us into stand users that have the weakest stands called protest. Let's see if I can keep it short and sweet. Shin Godzilla. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
Is that coming out where? Kiss Asian, of course.
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
I gotta
super
get on
badly.
that Final Fantasy 15 movie though. So yeah.
The finishing of Kamen Rider Ghost, and the Ghost movie that I didn't know was out yet.
Yes.
Obviously, if the series is done, it must be out. Video games, I don't know, I'll play some more Paladin, my Overwatch, or free Overwatch clone by High Res.
Yeah.
As long as they don't keep forcing me to be the Star Fox furry.
Uh-huh.
Which, I mean, I infringe, because they come very close to making him look like Star Fox and have his personality. I'm looking forward to Cinemassacres last year of Monster Madness, as I said last time, and yeah, and of course the shitstorm. As it gets closer and closer, I'm becoming a little, giddy schoolboy.
October,
Trying to ask that spooky skeleton senpai of mine out on a date.
Cool.
So, all around, excited for October more so than the finishing of September, because even Halloween events and games are amazing, and I can't wait for it. So there you go. A few things from Kiss Asian. Hopefully they're on there. If not, I'm going to be a sad, baby seal. And just, I want Halloween time to come faster. Can we use King Crimson and skip some time? Because that would be great.
Well, it just works.
That's what I got. Yeah, it just works.
Who you laughing at?
Josiah, what do you have planned, my boy?
That's great. I was also planning to go see Shin Godzilla, which premieres at my local theater on October 11th. Through 13th, so I'll be seeing it one of those dates. I'm also very giddy as soon as I saw the event go up for our local indie theater. I was like, hey, let's dance all day. But no, besides that, I'm also getting ready to move. I'm having to construct boxes for moving and starting to pack up all my little knickknacks that don't need to be packed at the last minute. So that's going on. I'll start doing that right after we're done with this podcast. Also making dinner. And of course, I am looking forward to the new season, and I did, while everyone else was discussing, look up Drifters. It is a 12-episode anime, and so it'll be perfect for our
It's starting up in a bit, right?
Yes, it starts up in about 2-3 weeks.
Cool.
Nice.
Also, I did also episode check JoJo, and nobody has a definitive answer on when Part 4 ends, so suck it,
39
Sterling.
episodes.
So far, there's still they don't have a max episode count though. That's how many titles they have. I triple checked, so.
Well, I quintuple checked.
Well, is Weird Al famously said, "Just eat it." No, but besides that, not too much is going on. I've got a wedding in the second weekend in October, so I got that as well. Of course, it is.
A lot of people getting weddings for some reason.
Well, it's Spook Town, man. It's Spook Time. I gotta dust off the old papyrus costume and start spooking early this year. But besides that, that's about all I have. So Matthew, take us away.
I am looking forward to more Kirby Planet Robobot, more Dragon Quest VII, more of all of that beautiful, sexy goodness. I'm diving right into Bento Wario. I'm going right into that JoJo Part 5, and I'm looking forward to that golden goodness.
It is pretty sexy.
You gotta experience that golden experience.
Yeah.
That's right. That shirt of Giorno's, man. Cover up, man. You got me all hot and bothered, man. Can't contain myself. So there's that. JoJo, I'm sure, is going to be good. And you know what? That's about it for me. There's not much more that I need to say. I'm going to keep it extra short and extra sweet, as I always keep it, as I have been known to do.
Enjoy your 30 minutes of Koichi in Part 5.
I am going to.
It's delicious.
Koichi grew on me super hard, a lot more than I expected him to. At the start of Part 4, I was like, whatever, dumb fucking kid, go away. And like 2/3 of the way through Part 4, I'm like, yeah, Koichi! Kicking ass. He showed Kira what's up, shut him down.
And
So,
not just that, but you'll see Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Looking forward.
And that bullshit.
All that good, it
Because
just
it
works,
is
man.
bullshit.
If
Alright.
it wasn't bullshit, then I'd be like, what the fuck? Is this the same author or not?
Very good point. Sterling,
So that-
if you would like to do the honors so I can cut everyone off and we can just end this almost 3-hour episode.
Yes.
Alright. Well, guys, what do we always say?
Don't.
Yeah.
Get it!
Alrighty. Pause it.